Hello and welcome. It's me, Marls44, and welcome back to another Cardfight Vanguard. Cardfight area deck profile. Today's deck profile, we have the Flower Maiden that also got an update, just like Hotmail did last week. Flower Maiden of Ranunculus Ayesha. So yeah, she got some support. Not a ton of new support. You know, she got some kind of bloom support as well, but the bloom really doesn't work as well with her. I found there's like some other tricks and stuff you can do with it too. So yeah, but she definitely got an update and she's definitely a bit better too. So yeah, a little bit of a weak update. Like, you know, she didn't get tons better, but she's still good, still consistent, and a great deck. So, anyways, let's jump right into the deck profile, shall we? So, our starter is Peach Orchid Maiden Irumi. What she does is G-Break 1, put in your soul if you have a Vanguard with Ranunculus and its card name. Choose up to one of your grade 2 or grade unit. So, for your deck for one card with the same card name as that unit, call it to rear guard, shuffle your deck, in the end of that turn, you put the unit call with this effect in your hand. This card is big for setting up your plays. This deck's centered around like one or two cards, pretty much. So, because, you know, most of your grade 2s clone, so your grade 2s are pretty much for cloning, and when they get called, it's pretty important. So, you know, she's just good for helping that setup, pretty much. Ooh. Sorry, guys. Anyways, on to our grade 3s. 4 Flower Maiden of Ranunculus Ayesha. Great card. You main Vanguard. Yeah. And then we still have 4 Crystalwing Dragon. Since I don't think we have any bloom. Except for like maybe one card that's bloom. But other than that, yeah. So the new bloom grade 3 won't really work with the deck because of it. So still 4 of her. And Crystalwing Dragon. Crystalwing Dragon's pretty good anyways as a backup Vanguard. So yeah. Alright, moving on to grade 2s. We got 4 of the new card, Ideal Maiden Thuria. So she's the card I was talking about Superior Calling with the grade 0, sorry. What she does is G-Break 1, when this card would be placed on rear guard, you choose up to one of your units. If you have a Vanguard with Ranunculus in its card name, this unit will be regarded as a unit with the same card name as that unit. So basically, she can clone herself when she's called into another rear guard. As long as you have Ranunculus. A card with Ranunculus in its card name as your Vanguard. Yeah, so, and her other skill is G-Break 1. Choose a card from your drop zone with the same name as this unit and put it on top of your deck. At the beginning of your main phase, if you have a Vanguard with Ranunculus and its card name, you pay the cost. If you do, return this unit to your hand, shuffle your deck. So that's pretty important too, to combo with it. So because your main card that you want to focus on is, you know, you have to call another copy of her and then the skill goes off. She combos very well into that, being able to go back to your hand and then being recalled, and the starter can send her back to your hand too. And I mean, it's really simple to do, honestly, and very consistent. This card basically helps you out in any situation as a clone and can really just help your field setups too. It's really big, and yeah, that's pretty much what it does. Like, there's nothing else to explain. That's what it's for. It's for copying. But the calling's pretty important too. So, anyways, and then we have 4 Maiden of Flower screen, so we still play 4 of these. Another clone card as well. So pretty handy. 4 of her. And then we have 3 of Flower Cluster Maiden, Salianna. So what she does, G-Break 1. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, when this card is placed on rear guard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Ranunculus and its card name, you pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other rear guards, search your deck for the one card with the same card name as that unit called to rear guard, shuffle your deck, and this unit gets power plus 2000 until end of the turn. So this card's pretty good for doing that as well. She can get your grade 2, she can get your grade 1 that you want, she can get either or. She's really handy because she's very consistent, and it's like, okay, you call her and then you do that. You could play the booster you know, the booster that you counterblast one if it gets boosted, blah blah blah. But she's really handy as well because you don't have any beaters, and the beater fact of her being a beater is pretty important when she's called. So that's pretty handy. I mean, you most of the time you kind of intercept with her afterwards. She's very important for just helping with the setups and the plays, pretty much. So 3 of her, very good card. Then we have 4 damage on Flipper Perfect Guard, your Maiden of Passionflower. And then 4 Cultivation Battle Maiden, Padmini, Stride Enabler, Aisha Searcher. And then we have 4 of a new card. Yeah, this is the only card with the Bloom ability. Pure Maiden Katrina. So the Bloom ability is actually when something's called to rear guard. That's pretty much what it is. What she does is a G-Break 1. When your other unit named Pure Maiden Katrina is placed on rearguard, if you have a Vanguard with Ranunculus in its card name, choose up to 5 of your Pure Maiden Katrina on rearguard, and those units get power plus 4,000 until end of turn. So you can basically just have a bunch of 11 Ks on your field, unless you have a grade 2 or something, because then they could be 13. So pretty much, the reason that this is your main focus of the deck, what you want to clone, what you want to call, and you know what you want to keep on cloning and stuff. So pretty much what you do with her is, so say you have screen in one column, you clone as her, and then you call the other grade 2, the one that copies when they call, and then boom, all of them get a power up. If you have all 3 of these behind, or even 2, 2's not bad as well, because normally you're striding, and I don't see a reason. I normally never find a reason to call a unit behind a stride, because they'll either guard it or they'll they'll either perfect guard it or they won't guard it, unless they're like almost dead. Then I could see you calling it behind a Vanguard. So I normally don't call units behind a Vanguard as much anymore. And honestly, it seems to work out, especially with this deck, because that means you have 2 left in the deck, maybe 1 in your hand. You can use your, I mean, you'll probably get 1 behind the Vanguard because of its setup. Why not get the power up? But it does work. She's just so strong with the combos and the setups. You use your, what was her name? I don't remember her name. Flower Cluster Mate. Your Cluster Maiden, to like call one of her out, and it stacks too. It can stack. So if you use Cluster Maiden on top of that grade 2 that can clone on the same turn, you can stack. So you call the grade 2 that can clone first, boom, you have 3 cards, they all get 4k, call the other one, Superior call something, again. I mean, normally you just go for the 1 call, for the plus 4k, but you know, if you can get a couple, why not? If you have the chance to do it, you won't get the power up as many units, but if you have the chance to do it because there's certain units you have and others you don't, like you don't have Screen Maiden or whatever, do that, right? So she's just really, really good, and honestly, this deck is rounded around it, and it's just super consistent, and you get this off every turn. Like, maybe there'll be 1 turn you don't get it off, but that's it. You get it off every turn, and it's not bad to have her in the front row as well, because she'll be 11k, and what's nice is you could call one of her on top of the other sometimes, so you can, at the end of the turn, if you have to, you can, you know, put it back on your deck, get the grade 2 back in your hand. Like, there's so many ways to set around it, and it honestly works really, really well. Like, the card goes back in the deck too, right? So you're not really looking for pluses, you're looking for that power up cloning type thing. So really nice. Then we have 2 Early-flowering Maiden Via. So 2 for her. She's your backup clone card. So if you can't get the pure Katrina working, like if it's not working and stuff, you use this card, you clone on this card, and you use its skill to like power up all the clones. What's nice about this card too, it can actually combo with the pure Katrina too. So the pure Katrina, you know, even if there's so many of them, you can use this card to just power them all up, and then, you know, you call Katrina, and it's like,
Oh, okay. So they get 7k power this turn, all of them. Sweet. If you get another one, 11k, all of them. Oh, yeah. So, really nice card. 2 of it. Backup clone card, and honestly, just helps support the cloning process since it can pick any of the cards, and then you could power up them all by 3k of that card. So, of that card name. Anyways, on to our triggers. We have 4 Flower Garden Maiden Mylis, Ahsha trigger, and then 4 Maiden of Dimorphotheca, so 8 crit, and 4 Plenty Turnip, 4 draw, and then 4 Fairy Light Dragon, 4 heal. So 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. This version is definitely not a superior call-y, doesn't superior call as much, and honestly, you need your setups and stuff, so now we play 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. Yeah, this deck's all about that consistent cloning and power-ups off of it, and just so beautiful, honestly. I love Neo Nectars now. I love them. I love Ahsha. Awesome. Anyways, so for the new card, Ranunculus in Glorious Bloom, Ahsha. So what she does, once per turn, G-Break 2, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, choose a face down card, G-Zone, turn it face up. If you have a hard card with Ranunculus in its card name, choose one of your units. Search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card as that unit. Call to rear guard, shuffle your deck, choose up to 4 units with the same card name as that unit, and until end of turn, they get power plus 5,000. For each face-up card, name this card in your G-Zone. And if you have a unit on rear guard with the same card name as this unit gets crit plus 1 until end of turn. On the turn you stride this, normally you use like your screen normally you use screen, to clone as this card. If you really have to, you use the card that you call, but the one that you call you kind of want to use for Katrina. It's pretty scary because when you use this card, they all get 5,000 for each face-up card of this, right? On top of the fact that when one of those cards is called, they get 4,000. Now, you can make some really scary columns with that. This card can stack up to 15k. And, the other ones can keep stacking as long as you can continue it. So, and that's all the units with the same name only. But still, they can be pretty scary if it's pretty much your whole field, right? You don't always need the crit, of course. You do the crit the first time, and the second time it's kind of like, okay, you want to end the game, don't focus on the crit, focus on ending, get all that power up. Really strong stride unit though, and on the turn you use her, you don't have to use the Katrina thing. The Katrina thing is more for like, some turns, and then others this card will do it. So it's either this or the Katrina if you really want to use both, but I just found it more consistent when I used it when I needed to, and when I didn't need to, then I didn't use it, which made it a little easier because it's like I can reserve it for when I need the power up, right? And Pierre helped, not Pierre, sorry, wrong person. Via helped too, because on those turns that I didn't do it, Via just gave them all +3. So at least they were like 10k, right? The grade 1s at least. The others were like 12. But on like this type of turn. So it really has its setups, and like this deck with the cloning power-ups and setups is just nuts. It really works so beautifully together, and this card just brings it all together. Anyways, and then we have 2 of the other card, Dream Spinning Ranunculus Ahsha. 2 of her. The other card's definitely much more powerful. This card's really handy too for stuff, for similar stuff, but the other card's just much stronger, and yeah, you only need 2 of her. And then we are running 1 Flower Princess of Spring color Arborea, your starting stride unit, and then we have 1, you get a Grassel Protection, Maiden of Lotus. So what this card does is Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. If you have a heart card with Maiden of in its card name, choose up to 3 units with Maiden of in its card name from your front row. Until end of turn, they get plus 5,000. And when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, look at the top 5 cards from your deck, search for 1 card with the same card name as that on your Vanguard or Rearguard from among them. Call it to Rearguard and shuffle your deck. So you could kind of get some silly stacks with this. Like it's pretty funny, honestly. How you could get like double stacks with this sometimes, and free call. Well, not free call, but like, you know, a nice call from it, and help set up, and you know, it's your other starting stride unit if you want to use this instead. If you need the setups, like you really need it, and you want to get the power up too. So you have 2 starting stride units. You can kind of choose between it depending on situation. Both really good, and yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's about it for this deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Very simple deck as always. Nectar is very Nectar. It's not a neck. Is very simple and like easy to understand, and can do quite amazing things with its cloning and power ups with the cloning. So it's I just love it. I just love Ahsha's deck. Like, so it's so good. Anyways, that's about it for this deck profile, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Deck list will be in the description below as always. I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to see more videos from me, on the left, there are Let's Play videos, so you can go check those out. And if you're not up for those, on the right, there are Cardfight Vanguard videos, so you can go check those out. And if you're still not up for those, I have Smash Bros, Pokemon, and tons more side series on my channel. Also down below is my Smash Tourney channel, where we do Smash Tourneys, Salty Sweets, and more. And don't forget to check out my sites at the top there. That's it, and I hope you all enjoy.